Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Retailing Management online classes. This is Dr. Mahesh M. Onjeri, Assistant Professor from Department of Management Studies, SDM College of Engineering and Technology, Dharwad. Okay, so dear students, we are learning about the second element of retail mix, merchandise assortment. So related two chapters. Chapter number 12, we have completed the learning merchandise management planning process, and there in sixth stage where which we briefly covered, okay, is discussed in detail in chapter number 13, buying merchandise. Okay, so already three sessions are over for chapter number 13, buying merchandise, and the last part, okay, the buying system for fashion merchandise. With that we'll conclude the chapter and the unit today. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen now, and I have a news article to discuss. Okay, so a quick recap of what we had discussed in the previous three classes. Chapter number 13, buying merchandise. So what are the brand alternatives which a retailer can purchase from vendors or manufacturers or suppliers? So you need to remember the terms. So national brands and private labels are purchased by the retailers from the vendors and kept for sale in their stores. And there are a variety of private brands as well available for a retailer who is considering to sell private labels, okay, like premium, copycat, exclusive, and generic brands. So based on the impact of the brand on the store sales revenue, okay. So the national brands as well as private labels are evaluated, and based on which a retailer decides whether to sell national brands or private labels or a combination of both. Then we made a beginning to understand buying national brand merchandise. So I hope you know by this time what is the national brand and what is the private label. You cannot forget these terms during group discussion, during personal interview of organized retailers. Okay, you need to use these terms, or if they use the term, you should know the meaning. So buying decision for fashion apparel or accessories and the buying decision for staple merchandise, we considered few important points. Then developing and sourcing private label merchandise, okay, we have learned. Then negotiating with the vendor, so I explained who are vendors, suppliers of merchandise, okay. Then types of buying systems, features of staple merchandise and fashion merchandise is repeated here. Then we learned about the staple merchandise buying system, which is relatively easier compared to buying fashion merchandise. So last part of the chapter, we are going to learn today merchandise budget plan for fashion merchandise, or simple buying system for fashion merchandise. Okay. So this is the procedure for preparing a budget plan for buying fashion merchandise. Okay. So whereas for groceries, the retailer may do a sales forecasting for an year because the demand is predictable. Okay. And historical data is available. For fashion apparels, okay, the maximum period for which forecasting is done is only for 6 months, and for each category. Okay, for example, formals, casuals, smart casuals, okay, then sportswear, casual, okay, so like this. So forecasting is done for 6 months, okay, for each category of fashion merchandise. Then break down the total sales forecast done for 6 months into forecast for each month. Okay, so I hope that's simple. Okay, so if your company forecasts that, okay, I'll take very small number so that we can understand. Okay, it is not real. I'll take a hypothetical smaller number so that we can understand. Okay, say for example, the forecast for 6 months sales. Okay, for expensive wristwatch, okay, was 600 units. Then break down the total sales forecast of 600 units of that expensive wristwatch into forecast for each month. Okay, so you cannot simply divide 600 by 6 months. Okay, like 100 units, okay, per month. No, each month the number of units sold will be different. The demand for that wristwatch each month will be different. Huh? Please remember. Okay, so it is as good as monthly forecasting done for the fashion merchandise. Then plan reductions for each month. Okay, let us say for example month 1. Okay, the first month's sales forecasting for the wristwatch, the example which I am taking, is 100 units. Okay, so let us consider from July. Okay, so July to December. July to December. So July, August, September. Okay, let us say about July 50 units, then September 75 units, then after July, August, and September some 100 units. Okay, so this is how the total sale forecast is broken down for each month. Then in the month of October and November, what happens? Two biggest festivals, Vijayadashmi and Deepavali. Okay, okay, festive season. So that is the festive season in month of October and November. Sales will be more compared to July, August and September. So say for example 150 units in the month of October and 200 units in the month of, okay, let us say November. So first 50 plus 75, 125, then 100, 225, then another 150. Okay, so 375, 375 plus 200, okay, the 575 units. Okay, so and for the December, what happens usually after a big season, the the demand declines drastically in next month immediately. That is December. Let us say the retailer may consider that about 25 units may be sold in the month of December. So this is how break down the total sales forecast into forecast for each month. Plan reductions for each month. So the sales figures, if I convert the same into sales figures, like the company, the retailer would sell 25, 50 units in first month, 75 units in second month, okay, then 100 units in third month. So that is their reductions, nothing else. Sales is the reductions. So plan reductions for each month. So if 50 units are allocated to the store in the first month, how many units they are expecting to be sold? Okay, so this reduction may also include damages or thefts. Then determine beginning of month stock to sales ratio. Okay, so at the beginning of second month, okay, so the retailer takes the stock of the particular SKU, stock keeping unit. In our case, it is a wristwatch. So how many units are remaining at the beginning of next month? And what is the sales in the previous month? So determine the beginning of month stock to sales ratio. Then calculate the beginning of month inventory. So how much inventory needs to be maintained? How much inventory needs to be maintained in the store? Okay, so beginning of month inventory needs to be calculated so that the same thing can be ordered. Then calculate end of month inventory. So by the end of the month, how much inventory may remain in the store? So based on this beginning of month inventory and end of month inventory, calculate monthly additions to stock. Okay, so how much inventory you need to order for your next month? Okay, so this way the fashion merchandise budget plan is prepared, according to which, okay, the stores keep on ordering with the distribution center or the warehouse, and the purchase department or buying organization in the retail firm keeps on ordering with the suppliers or vendors. Okay, so what is different here is, whereas in case of buying staple merchandise, the forecasting is done once in a year. Okay, in buying fashion merchandise, the forecasting is done for 6 months, but again that 6 month forecast is broken down into monthly forecasted sales. So it is as good as the forecasting is done for each month. So it is more frequently. So why the sales forecasting is done more frequently or for monthly basis. Okay, so we have learned it is because the for fashion merchandise, okay, the demand is unpredictable. There is limited sales history because fashion keeps on changing. Its product life cycle is very shorter. That's why it's difficult to forecast for a longer period of time. That is the reason why the retailer forecasts the demand for fashion merchandise on a monthly basis. Okay, so I hope it was easy to understand. And if you have any questions, you please ask. Okay, if you have any questions, this is the last part of the chapter, but yet there is some value addition information on Indian retail scape. Okay, so this is one of the subsidiary of Future Group. It's called Future Brands. Now anyway, it's all part of Reliance Industries Limited. Okay, so Future Brands offers end-to-end culture-based solutions for brands and organizations. Our means Future Brands expertise lies in brand consulting, projects requiring deep cultural insights, and facilitating brand creation and management for clients across sectors. Okay, so these are the some brands, okay, that are developed by Future Brands. DJ and C. Okay, it's a fashion concept that accentuates the glimmer inside. Okay, it's a DJ and C look famous. Then Spunk, a brand that inspires and celebrates the idea of marvelous motion, okay, being flexible. Then Prima Diva, a young working woman's style conduit. Okay, a young working woman's style conduit. So these are for working women. Yeah, this is for young women, young girls and teenagers. So this is for sportive people. So this way, Future brand develops, okay, brand equity for their clients, including Future Retail. Okay. So because in the beginning we learned that the retailer can purchase either national brand or private label. So in case if the retailer decides to develop and sell private labels, yeah, these private labels or private brands also need to be developed. Okay, they need to have their positioning of their own, differentiation of their own, as well as brand equity of their own in order to attract customers. Okay, so towards that, Future Brands consults its clients. So Future Brands is a subsidiary, was, I should say now, Future Brand was a subsidiary of Future Group, created to develop powerful and valuable brands. It transformed the traditional notion of a private label brand. See what is the basic objective behind starting the subsidiary Future Brands? Okay, generally the consumer perception towards a private labels was it is a economical and a low quality brand developed by the retailer. But Future Brands aim was to transform the traditional notion of a private label brand. So you could even you can look here, DJ and C brand, then Spunk brand, Prima Diva brand. Okay, and also those who watch Miss India, okay, beauty pageant, Miss India beauty pageant. Earlier it was sponsored by Femina. So it is they used to call Femina Miss India. Now it is co-sponsored by, okay, Big Bazaar fashion brand as well. So anybody who remember the fashion brand of Big Bazaar? Yes, students. TV ads used to come. Dhoni initially was a brand ambassador.
Safe, BB.
FBB, yes, Fashion at Big Bazaar, that is how they call it. FBB and Femina Miss India it is now. Okay, so this all effort is to transform the traditional notion of a private label. Notion means the perception of consumer towards private labels. What consumers always thought private label means economical, low quality brand. Okay, then Future Brands is the licensor of select brands under apparel, home products, consumer durables, and food and beverage categories, initially to Pantaloon Retail. Okay, it will means future brand invests in advertising and brand building activities to enhance the selected brand's equities. That is what I mentioned. In the long term, these brands can enjoy the same trust that the brand best manufacturer or national brands enjoy. So I used to tell you, okay, some knowledge is definitely required to understand. As I told you the Gap. Okay, when I learned first time about the Gap, I thought it was a brand of jeans. Okay, but later, long back, about 1.5 decade ago. So later I learned that, okay, yeah, Gap is a retailer. Okay, but Gap branded jeans are so popular in America. So Gap is more closely associated as a jeans rather than a retail store. Okay, that way, that is the objective. But the problem or challenges in India is the penetration of organized retail is very low, and it is the unorganized sector that dominates the retail industry. Okay, so in such a market, definitely yes, it will take very long time to develop private labels. Okay. Some key brands like Dreamline, okay, in home category, Dream Kitchen in kitchenware category. Okay, so this source is from pantaloneretail.in. Okay, data is old, okay, but now things have changed. Other information, new latest information is not available. So, but still, okay, you can refer the information for knowledge, for learning, and for understanding. Okay, so that's the end of second element of retail mix, merchandise assortment. So now the session is open for your questions. So those students, last class we finished it in a hurry, okay, because after taking attendance there was no time left. So now we have ample time. Okay, so if any questions you had in the previous class, that also you can ask in this class. I told you before closing previous class, note down if any questions you have and ask in the next class. Yes, students, I'm going to stop sharing now. If you want me to share the PowerPoint slide, you let me know, I will share it again. Yes. So any difficulties or any questions on the chapter? Chapter number 13 or in general on chapter 12 as well as on chapter 13? Okay, so again pin drop silence. During the interactive session, there should not be pin drop silence. Okay. When the presentation is made, okay, so by the teacher, then pin drop silence is required. Yes, any difficulties, Samuel? Any questions? Okay, no, sir. Yes, Kallaya, any questions you have? Yeah, Kallaya, can you hear me? Or maybe Kallaya is listening to Kana Soja Zara. Okay. Nishad, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Yeah, Nishad, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, good. So in that case, then let me take attendance first. And in the remaining time, I would like to share a news article about retailing. Aditya, absent. Akshata, absent. Akshay Pujari is present.
Present, sir.
Akshay Koradkeri, Looks absent. Ankita. Yeah, present. Anusha.
Absent, sir.
Absent. Then Apeksha is present.
Yes.
Ashutosh is present. Prasad is present.
Yes, sir.
Supriya is present.
Yes, sir.
Divya. Divya is absent. Yeah, Divya absent. Gautam is present.
Yes, sir.
Guru Raj. Okay, absent. Hanumantra is present. Bhimaya. Bhimaya. Absent. Okay, Bhimaya absent. Kalaya present.
Present, sir.
Karthik. Karthik. Karthik absent. Manjur.
Karthik is present.
Karthik is present.
Last class is present, sir.
Okay.
I saw.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, please tell me if somebody is present. So Karthik present. Manjur. He is absent today. Then Manoj. Manoj is present.
Yes, sir.
Meghna Kalburgi.
Sir.
Yeah, present. Meghna Lokhande is present.
Present, sir.
Yes. Nandan is present. Yeah, Nandan is present.
Present.
Yes, yes. Okay. So Nandan is present. Nikita is present. Pradeep. Pradeep absent. Pramod absent. Pranjali present. Prashant. Yes. Pranjali present. Prashant.
Present, sir.
Yeah, present. Prema.
Present, sir.
Rahul is present.
Yes, sir. Present.
Ram.
Present, sir.
Present.
Sir,
Present,
Nikita
sir.
present, sir.
Who?
Nikita, sir.
Yeah,
Nikita Kalmanpur.
marked present.
Thank you.
Rohit.
Yes, sir.
Varsha. She is absent today.
Yes, yes, sir.
Samuel is present. Sharon is present. Shruti is present. Shweta Kalkeri. Absent. Shweta Kalkeri absent. Okay, then Snehal is present. Sudarshan. Sudarshan, is he there? No, absent. Sudarshan absent. Sudha.
Present, sir.
Suman. Suman, are you present? No, Suman absent. Then Vishal.
Present, sir.
Yeah, present. Nishad is also present.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So if you don't have any questions, then in the remaining time, okay, so let me share a news article. Okay, so this news was also shared in the previous class by Akshay Pujari. He shared the Google link, YouTube or Google link, okay, some link he shared about the same news. Okay. So students, I hope you can see the news article.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is about RIL, Reliance Industries Limited, picks up 96% stake in Urban Ladder for 182 crore rupees, has a further option to acquire balance stake, that is 4%. Billionaire Mukesh Ambani owned Reliance Industries Limited, a retail arm, has picked up 96% stake in online furniture retailer Urban Ladder for over 182 crore rupees. So Urban Ladder is an online furniture retailer. Okay. So IKEA we cannot compare, but anyway you can say a competitor. Okay, for IKEA. Reliance IKEA is a brick and mortar retailer, whereas Urban Ladder is the online furniture retailer. Okay. Reliance Retail Ventures Limited. So this is the name now. Reliance Retail Ventures Limited, a subsidiary of Reliance Industries Limited, has acquired equity shares of Urban Ladder Home Decor Solutions Private Limited for a cash consideration of 182 crore. The investment represents 1 minute. Yeah, the investment represents 96% holding in the equity share capital of Urban Ladder. It added. Okay, then the further investment is expected to be completed by December 2023. That is the remaining 4%. This acquisition will help Reliance Industries Limited in bolstering its presence in the fast-growing e-commerce segment and widening the bouquet of consumer products provided by it, as it looks to compete with e-commerce majors like Amazon and Flipkart. Okay. So the purpose of acquiring Urban Ladder, an online furniture retailer, is to bolster its presence in the fast-growing e-commerce segment. Okay, the growth of e-commerce segment is faster than the brick and mortar retail segment. Okay, you should know this. If you want the figures, you go to websites like Statista, okay, and other market research firms. Okay, and also the first objective is to get that fast growth. Okay, so where is the fast growth? It is in e-commerce segment. So by acquiring Urban Ladder, the retail wing of Reliance, that is Reliance Retail Ventures Limited, is trying to improve its growth rate. Second objective is widening its bouquet of consumer products. Okay, so furniture is now included, or home decor and furniture is now included among the product mix of Reliance Retail Venture Limited. Okay, then also it wants to compete. Okay, it wants to compete strongly with e-commerce majors like Amazon and Flipkart in India. So mergers and acquisitions are basically strategies, okay, that are decided with specific goals or objectives in mind. So these are the purpose or goals of acquiring Urban Ladder. Okay, so the aforesaid investment will further enable the group's digital and new commerce initiatives and widen the bouquet of consumer products provided by the group, while enhancing user engagement and experience across its retail offerings, the statement said. Okay. In August, there is some additional news. In August, Reliance Industries Limited had acquired a majority stake in a digital pharma marketplace, NetMeds. Okay, so I had somehow skipped this news. Maybe I did not read news on that day. So in August, Reliance Industries Limited had acquired a majority stake in the digital pharma marketplace NetMeds for around 620 crore rupees. Okay, RIL, which has been on a fundraising spree by selling stakes in Reliance Retail Venture Limited, had earlier this month announced 9,555 crore investment from Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, taking total fundraising in the last 2 months to 47,265 crore. Okay, so definitely, okay, so the initiatives